Footage of Channing Tatum thinking about his XXL-sized paycheck for the third Magic Mike somehow makes it into this movie. This work montage exists because even though I'm here for the dick thrusting and ab gyrations, apparently some people think it's sexy to have a job.
I got some real bad news about Dallas. He's gone, bro.
Oh no, I don't remember who that is. Isn't that one of the Zombieland characters? Is this a crossover? Parking crooked like an asshole.
I'm here for the wake.
I don't want to insult Mike for thinking that a wake would take place at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, but even if this is a thing that happens, I'm sinning Tarzan for not choosing the less questionable repast in this ruse.
Hey, fellas! Catch and release! No!
If you tackle me into a pool unsuspectingly when I'm wearing a suit, I will end you. I will choke you out with your own designer swimsuit. I will get your kids kicked out of the private preschool you love by telling them that you were a fucking fire starter. Even if I have to Photoshop that evidence, you bitch, do not with me by ever tackling me into a pool when I'm wearing a suit. Also, scene does not contain a release.
He fucking bailed on us, man. He took the kid. Started a new show overseas.
This line, which is designed to kill the elephant in the pool and extinguish any hopes of a Matthew McCameo or an Alex Pitt thing where that other guy from the first film shows up.
White Shadow, meet Mikey.
I've never heard of a choreographer cameo before, but Allison Falk certainly deserves one. That being said, this is weird and distracting.
The point is, still got two freak shows. One who can barely dance. One person of color.
Why does Joe Manganiello look as confused about the delivery of that line as I am about hearing it?
I'm goddamned if I'm gonna let my last memory of this business be getting laid off.
Movie makes no attempt to make this statement plausible to the point that any of us understand why Richie can't strip anymore now that Dallas is gone.
Yes, is the answer, but it just can't be right now. I mean, we need a couple more reliable accounts before I can get a policy for you.
Mike must dangle his wick in a sweat-filled odyssey back to the underworld of stripping, all so he can pay for his employees' healthcare plan. That's not actually the plot, but now the whole last ride with the boys angle seems bland. Am I right? You can tell he's serious about not being a stripper anymore because of all the papers and the laptop. Chocolate Chip's position lets us know that Brooke isn't coming back either. I'm actually starting to wish this was Dog. And Dog is a terrible movie, but it has an adorable dog in it. And this movie has no adorable dog. Mike only turns this on so he can foreshadow all the work he's about to do with his tool.
You're listening to the golden age of hip-hop, only on Spotify.
Spotify spending on this product placement instead of spending on the artists. We won't dare play the song, mostly because we're worried the tsunami of lovemaking that ensues would adversely affect viewer engagement. But the Mike DeLorean just broke the fourth wall because Pony by Genuine is playing, and quite frankly, we don't need any meta Magic Mike nonsense right now. We're still recovering from everything everywhere wrong with everything everywhere all at once. The angle at which he's holding this angle iron seems unsafe at any speed, but I'm just so distracted by this bench grinder that I can't help myself. What is that, a 6-inch? Maybe it's an 8-inch? I mean, a hardworking guy like Mike would know what to do with a 10-inch, but that's just too much, really. A nice 8-incher will do the trick. Looks like a Ryobi, but don't quote me on that. Now, I've seen some smaller models that come with a flexible shaft attachment, but when you are already working with hard, rigid steel, who even needs another shaft, it would just get in the way. What am I sinning again? My favorite part about the scene where he dances and pretend fucks everything in his workshop is that it's super relatable. Who among us has not themselves pretended to fuck everything in the garage? Why are they traveling in a food truck again? Is this Chef but for strippers?
I'm making artisanal probiotic froyo.
You go straight to fucking hell.
Relax, I got a bunch of orders, just came in. All the guys at the shop are just freaking out.
If you're gonna be here, be here.
Man, you, dude. This is a mobile strip show reunion. If dude's business is popping off, then you should be supporting him, not telling him to get off his phone. God damn, this is a fucking food truck where people are sitting on ovens and shit. Are you really trying to restrict the ways they have fun? Throwing someone's phone out the window. That's it. That's the sin.
You better be ready to follow my ass down the rabbit hole.
This is still just a traveling male stripper show, no? Why is Joe Deathstroke preaching at me? Imagine taking yourself super seriously as a dance troupe, but you show up to your next gig and bounce out of a taco truck, but you're still acting like you're hopping out of a private jet. Where do a bunch of male strippers on the road go for a little relaxation? A strip club, of course. Duh. Since Vogue popping would likely pop my knee out, I gotta remove a sin for the legendary completion of these dance moves. This 2-hour movie doesn't care how it wastes your time, it only cares that it wastes your time, and one by one audience member strip-off is just one of its evil tools.
Why don't you enlighten us, Constant Gardner?
Did a stripper bro just drop a Constant Gardner reference? These movies are overly ambitious for no reason. What in the obscure f***ing shit?
ShamWow us with your ingenious invention.
The ShamWow commercial continues to be the pop culture gift that keeps on giving, but the sin here is using it as a verb. Movie has time for Flash Thompson to pitch his idea for a business that combines condoms and mints, only to find out someone else already created that business and the audience is getting restless for some male shaky dancy sexy stuff.
We agreed to try monogamy and, Mercedes, that lasted for about 2 seconds.
I feel like I would like to meet Mercedes, maybe.
It's like Oprah said, man. When someone shows you themselves, believe them.
I personally was taught that when someone shows themselves to me, I was to run away and race toward the nearest authority figure. Also quoting Oprah.
No, he didn't call you he just said you exhibited like behavior.
Had this been about cats, I'm not sure it would have gotten more sins or fewer, but probably more.
Everybody happy?
I don't know who is, but these extras struggling to fake dance in the background probably shouldn't be. The subtitle here is urine trickling, and I'm giving a sin to movies that don't do captions this real.
Drag queens. That's, doing drag queen stuff.
That's an odd reaction from someone who was just living it up at Mad Mary's.
Where you headed?
On the road again.
That moment when a nervous attempt to not talk about your life leads to accidentally quoting Willie Nelson, even if this makes more sense than the time I blurted out Wabash Cannonball.
Stripper pissing on beach in contemplative pose could sell for thousands one day.
Do we know this girl? Did a scene get cut? She just starts taking pictures of him while he's peeing and they immediately go into meeting cute. It's fucking weird, man.
I will whip it out and start peeing on whatever you tell me to pee on.
Thing I said after misinterpreting my college girlfriend's instructions and which led to our immediate breakup somehow makes its way into the script.
For that extra clean.
Now I'm real set. I'm real set. My agent's got me doing YouTube videos now, man.
We'll have to agree on that one.
To bangy?
Grown men saying bangy gets a sin every time.
Show me
Bangy?
To bangy?
I haven't had actual sex in almost 5 months.
Huh, but you have had non-actual sex? Fake sex? Dream sex? I think the point is that not actual sex asks a lot more questions than it answers.
Let's face it, I'm probably
Actually, what you're complaining about is the direct inverse of that. You gotta love Georgia marketing itself as the state of adventure, when the only real adventure in Georgia is getting from one end of Atlanta to the other in less than 2 hours.
What's up, bro? Little breakfast of champions?
Conceptually trying to merge the ideas of male strippers, mints, breakfast, Molly, drugs not a person, and the art of war. Tarzan refusing the Molly here is a responsibility red herring, because it does jack shit as far as preventing them from getting into an accident later.
I think you should bring back Pony, bro.
Joe says what we're all thinking, but no, it won't happen because the movie already blew its pony earlier.
Just burn this down with some new routines.
We can't do that, man. We got 2 days.
2 days? Is this bastard suggesting this troupe of seasoned male dancers can't work up and perfect a new routine in 48 hours? Does this movie even strip?
Just because you made up some of your own routines back in the day doesn't mean that you get to waltz back in here after 3 years and try to tell us how to run our own.
This movie's characters keep using the maximum amount of words. The stripper motivation circle has resulted in the goading of one person to go and invade some poor girl's personal space on a dare. And listen, any group of men over 5 in number is not to be trusted, if only due to the possible compounded ignorance factor. This gas station has a 10-gallon vat of boiled peanuts that you can apparently only buy by the 58-ounce styrofoam cup. We wouldn't dare play the song, and I was frankly too distracted to even notice the sin, but luckily Joe was kind enough to give the assist on this one.
He is kind of saved by the deus ex machina of the Backstreet Boys.
Also, it looks like Pepsi finished all over the scene, so we didn't have to.
How much for the Cheetos and water?
Movie never gives us the after-laugh shot where the cashier tells Richie to clean that shit up.
Oh, God, out of here!
Writers made littering crucial to Tito's character development.
There's a giant hole inside of me that was created when you left.
I'm here now.
And now I feel like it's full again.
Script has made it hard to tell if everything is actually a euphemism or if I'm just starting to perceive everything as a euphemism.
It's our energies, man. We are connected.
This f***ing movie is 2 hours long. The f*** out of here with your connected energy circle on the food truck that at this point has to smell like sweaty ass.
All I wanted was one more f***ing ride. Is that too much to ask?
True Blood over here might be a bit dramatic, but he is correct, no? Why does the bus driver's hospital stay, which he brought on himself, have to stop their stripper mission?
Oh, whatever, man. I'm the one who told you coming with us was a horrible idea.
Someone needs to tell One Tree Hill that doing the I told you so thing is rude.
You're right. You're goddamn right.
What the f***? You just changed your entire ass mind in 40 seconds, dude. This isn't Cash Cab.
We got a tsunami of dollar bills to get to, Daddy.
Is anything gained by the viewer or the characters by having this guy end his sentence with daddy?
I know an MC in Savannah.
Of course he does.
You know, back in the day, the Roman Empire, as long as you paid the emperor your taxes, you could worship who you wanted, where you wanted, how you wanted.
script takes a nebulous and vague road trip into the history of the Roman Empire to add some depth to Rome's character and the story. A welcome departure from all the testosterone-fueled antics, sure, but I'm getting the vibe that she may be more cult leader than MC, and the movie seems to forget about all this intrigue by the final act when the movie shifts gears from sexy John Wick to sexier Revenge of the Nerds. Dun, 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 dun. There are a lot of bills flying, but no indication anyone's collecting them or keeping count. This is stripper chaos. Someone should be collecting and guarding those dollar bills. I'm not against Michael Strahan spraying me with oil, but the introvert inside me is triggered by everyone cheering him on.
But you know, there's always a queen up in here who must be reminded of how beautiful she is.
Jada Pinkett Smith absolutely dominates the screen with this character, making us all go, Mike, who? So I'm removing a sin for her performance and adding one for the writers not building more of the story around her and this world.
And you ain't got a thing on, let me sing your theme song, Caroline. This could be something special.
The only talent I share with Donald Glover in this scene is the ability to pull off that hat. That's probably not true either. No one will be seated while the stripper bros do an after party with Donald Glover and hot people in chairs that light up from the inside.
I don't need a favor from you. The convention. All it is an excuse for us to try to put this between us to bed. That's all.
Except the only reason you even ended up here is that you do need a favor, and the movie needed a reason to shoehorn in more problems that can only be solved by dancing. And, well, I'm not mad about any of that. This statement from Mike feels like an outright lie that the movie never has to reckon with just because he knows enough different ways to grind a path to forgiveness.
We're gonna see if he's still got some magic in that Mike.
God fucking damn it! Movie tries to act like all these well-choreographed moves are all off the cuff when most of them are either dangerous or impossible if even one of the parties involved is unaware of what is about to happen next. One set off just because that was impressive. This has developed into an orgy of evidence that an orgy is happening. This is a 40-minute movie edited into a 2-hour affair by a super horny person.
This was fun.
Was it?
It's a long story, but Rome and I met each other at a very interesting time in our lives, and I guess you could say that we had a thing.
Funny thing is that long stories make for good movies and maybe have more depth than the 3-foot pool this convention plot is wading in. Several muscular strippers let themselves into a stranger's house and expect it to go well. There are at least 8 lamps on in this soccer mom sex romp room, and that's being generous to the 2 double lamp wall mounts and the 6-lamp chandelier.
It's low-hanging fruit. I can't help myself.
Some would say that Mike is pretty magic at CinemaSins. I disagree, but whatever.
They all look the same to me.
Racist.
Well, Zoe would be found guilty of being excellent at CinemaSins.
Julia and I are trying to lure May and Diana over to the dark side.
Annie McDowell commits to her role as the villain of this movie, despite the story not ever going in that direction.
We know it ain't all peaches and roses in that bedroom.
What the f***, lady? It's one thing for everyone here to know about her bedroom troubles. It's another thing entirely for you to make it public conversation.
I think I've had as good a run as anybody. But I'd trade all that in a heartbeat to come home to a wife, a kid.
Extra, extra. Old male stripper regrets life of stripping. Read all about it.
Pure and sweet and loving and nurturing.
Aren't those lyrics to Edelweiss?
Wow, that's because you're fucking night.
I'm glad somebody does. The amount these guys drink seems impossible without shitting your pants.
Did you bang him? That beautiful, nice lady was a glass slip. All of it. Every inch.
The will his fit in a Cinderella subplot pays off, but we never find out whether or not Salvador gets health care.
I realized I was married to Sean Kemp.
The former NBA star Sean Kemp? What a random f***ing reference.
No, get out of here.
The very first people they happen to run into at the hotel are Rome, Andre, and Malik. This is so convenient, I'm beginning to think this is actually a sequel to Serendipity. And I don't even know if that makes sense because I didn't see that movie. Me, Donald Glover is back. This is like a bad episode of Top Chef, only no one is cooking anything and the celebrity judge just keeps showing up everywhere. The movie wants me to believe that this candy and these spices can be combined into something that tastes good. I do not believe you. How many licks does it take to find out why these pops needed to be placed on the dried remnants of booty sweat? The world may never know because the movie will never tell us. Radio Shack is not churning out the sickest tweets about gas station seafood bisque in this scene. Tucked neatly into a weird montage is the fact that one or more of the strippers found time to record some vocals for Donald Glover's project with Niobe in attendance while they were all on the top floor of a skyscraper. Wait, why are the male strippers sharing a king bed instead of getting a room with 2 double beds or even 2 queen beds? If you advertise a stripper convention on your hotel sign out front, don't you get like tons of unwanted gawkers driving in to catch a glimpse? Wouldn't the people who are attending the conference already know about it? Is this a conference in need of roadside signage to draw in customers?
Paris.
Holy fucking shit.
I get that his name is in the title, but this story is starting to pour it on a little thick with him being everyone in the stripping world's favorite son.
Honey, you know how this works. You're not special.
Then why the holy reaction? Seemed like he was pretty special 2 seconds ago.
We do have an MC.
Hey, gorgeous. Shut the up.
Movie has a very underexplained hierarchy of how much sway certain people have in this industry. And regardless of how true to life this may be, it's super annoying that the movie only uses it as a device for dramatic reveals.
Who's at 1020 Bumper Grinders?
Aside from this being a solid name for a combination auto body repair / sandwich shop, the absence of this rival stripper group from the final act makes it feel like they were never real to begin with, or even cast for that matter.
That's a money spot. I expect y'all make some money in that spot.
Wait, I thought this was a stripper strip-off. Your profit as the organizer should come from the entry fees of strippers and attendees and advertisers. You shouldn't make jack shit from the strip of... Wait, you shouldn't even allow tipping during the big strip-off. What the kind of a half-assed event are you running here, lady? Two musical and choreography geniuses have a quick chat with the DJ, and that will probably result in a perfect show for the last-minute stripper team, and this is School of Rock, only as strippers, and you aren't fooling me, you dicks. This movie is going to be directly responsible for many volumes of my fan fiction, especially the one about the three amigos fighting the 300 in The Matrix.
Read my fangs. Let her make her own decisions.
Whatever.
I get that being bad is the point, but even knowing that, restraint is the only thing keeping me from adding the sins from all the Twilight movies.
This trip has been ridiculous and amazing.
It's been one of those two things for sure.
Now, I know this is not a competition.
What the f***? It has been billed exactly as a competition. The main characters drove through several states to get here to compete, not to exhibit. Absolutely nothing about this guy all movie long has suggested he has a routine where he pulls someone on stage and paints them while being stripperly.
You have a little bit of yes with a little bit of no.
What does that even mean, though? Tito gestures come up on stage, and hilariously only 3 girls assume he was gesturing at them and come up on stage. That's mind-boggling shit. How did the entire audience not bum rush this stage? Thinking the arousal you receive from food play will outweigh the number of ants you get from food play. As I watch the ladies throw bills at this dude, I feel like all the miles in the food truck were worth it. I love how the movie makes it seem like his perfect singing voice is the only thing his microphone picks up, like the screaming ladies simply don't exist on the auditory plane. Ken manages to not be sexed to death in this scene. Here we have Joe Mangiolani and Noah doing a tuxedo performance about a wedding, and I honestly just wish this thing would go to a title card that read, "The strippers stripped out of their minds, and all the stripper fans were knocked unconscious by the immaculate stripping, and they all fell down in a coma as a song about stripping played over the credits." Anyone that strip dances to sped up 9 Inch Nails songs needs Jesus, or therapy, or Jesus therapy. As they begin the mirror image dance, I begin my... Scene does not contain my lap. My favorite part here at the end is how much these ladies are loving being turned into literal sex object props. Yeah, make me part of your show, yeah, Mike says, see somebody got their smile back, and she says, I did. Shortly after you pretended to literally sex my throat with your sex, which I won't be pressing charges about despite the hundreds of witnesses. Movie reminds us that we were so focused on that we completely forgot that Gabriel Iglesias was in this movie. After winning the strip-off, the boys took in the local street fair on the pier, and it was average. Soderberghian stare off into the fireworks cliche.
Join Tyler Florence for the Great Food Truck Race.
That noise. Turn it off.
Right, I think it's this.
No, it's the button. Elaine, it's the button at the top.
Okay.
The top.
Well, you
turned it off. The one at the top. Yeah.
No,
But I do know this. You better be ready to follow my ass down the rabbit hole, brother. I'm talking
Orange Mocha Frappuccino!
You must be a trendsetter, Johnny. Looks like everyone's doing something new. Take a right, check it out.
Don't call her lame, bro.
No. Lame ass means great, brave, courageous, heart of a lion man.
Get on my back for picking up.
Don't even think of trying to tell me what I can or cannot do with my ship after that little speech.
I guess I want what everybody wants, you know. Career, love, marriage, children.